guys want to see me review a game that I suck at? Of course you do. That's why today we're going to take a look at God Hand.
God Hand is one of those titles that will go down in history as one of the greatest games you've never played. And it was the last game by Clover Studios made before Capcom shut them down. If you don't remember Clover Studios, they were a short-lived developer put together by Capcom who are famous for the Beautiful Joe series and Okami. I don't remember much marketing for this game, only hearing about it through word of mouth through friends. It was kind of rare, so out of my circle of friends, only 3 of us had copies, and to this day, finding a physical copy commands a high price for a 7-year-old game because of its rarity. However, you can get this game on the PlayStation Network for $10 if you have a PlayStation 3.
This is your best and cheapest option because it's probably going to be near impossible to find in a store, or it's going to cost you an arm and a leg through an online retailer.
The average score for God Hand is about 7.5 out of 10, the highest score being 8 out of 10 and the lowest score being 3 out of 10. And that 3 out of 10 score is from a website which will rename nameless, so don't bother asking. But the review that accompanied that score is pretty much the reason why I don't go to that website anymore. Well, there were a lot of reasons why I stopped going there, but their scathing review of God Hand was the straw that broke the camel's back. God Hand is very difficult. Even on the easiest setting, it's extremely hard. And it's a game that's hard because it was designed to be extremely difficult. In fact, it is so hard that a friend of mine who got me the game for the purposes of this review had actually snapped a controller in half in anger due to its difficulty.
God Hand is unforgivable when it comes to difficulty. In fact, I would rate it just as hard, if not harder, than Battletoads.
And I suck at this game, but I really like it. I'm not the type of gamer that will say a game is bad because I suck at it. I man up and admit when I suck at a game. Like in my Rayman review, I admitted to doing something wrong because I was doing terribly. That's why whenever someone says that I gave a game a bad review because I sucked at it, I laugh. That's a feeble attempt to defend a game that's either not that good or just bad that the person likes. I understand that there are reviewers out there that will say a game is bad because they suck at it. I know there's one YouTuber out there who hates nearly every single game he's reviewed, and it's really just because he sucks at playing video games. I won't say who it is because I don't want to give him any attention, but I'm not like that. I will not hate a game because I suck at it.
I will admit when I suck at a game, and I'm not going to hold it against it. I mean, it's not the game's fault that I don't have the skill to play it.
And while it's very difficult, it requires a lot of skill, twitch reactions, and fast thumb work. Health pickups are rare, and there can be a lot of enemies, and they have large health pools and hit very hard. But it's not unfair in its difficulty. There are plenty of checkpoints, and when you die, you get all your health back, and you keep any money that you collected. God Hand is a beat-em-up very much in the old-school type of Streets of Rage or Final Fight, except that instead of being a 2D side-scroller, it's a 3D roamer. However, this game is just off-the-wall, goofball, bonker wacky. Despite the realistic-looking art style, do not take this game seriously. There are a lot of over-the-top gags and jokes that will put this game on par with movies like Airplane or Hot Shots.
One of your attacks is called the Ball Buster, an attack that only works on male opponents. That should pretty much give you an idea for the ride that you're going to be in with this game.
The graphics are on par with something that you'd see in 2006, although if you downloaded it from the PlayStation Network, don't expect it to have an HD makeover. And speaking of the PlayStation Network, I'm a bit surprised that this game was on there. It didn't sell well, it wasn't really that known as everywhere I called looking for the original PS2 version had no idea what I was talking about. The music, like all music, is dependent on your taste, and if you don't like that late 80s, early 90s surfer music, you're going to hate it. I myself enjoy it though. The controls are pretty good. X, square, and triangle will attack, and circle interact with objects. You move with the left analog stick, and the right will dodge in whichever direction you move it in. L1 will do a 180 turn, L2 will taunt, R1 will activate your roulette wheel, and R2 will unleash the God Hand. Moving Gene, the main character, is alright. He turns well, but when running at full speed he takes wide turns. I haven't had problems with Gene responding to controls. In fact, I would say it's almost too responsive, which is good because it's a very fast-paced game.
I had to take frequent breaks from this game because it really gives your thumb a workout. Thumb and workout. Yeah, those are 2 words that should never cross paths.
You can classify God Hand as a button masher, but it's a little more than that. There is some strategy to defeating each enemy as they have different methods of attacking and they all have a tell before they attack. But you're going to need to get used to dodging as it's going to take a lot of fancy footwork to make sure you don't get hit as the enemies do a lot of damage in just a few hits. Your attacks do a very pitiful amount of damage, but when your attention gauge is full, you can unleash the God Hand, allowing you to move and hit faster and it makes you invincible. And that is until you acquire more techniques, which are stronger. You'll either find them in treasure chests or you can buy them from the store. You'll need to get money, and a lot of it, to buy all the upgrades you can, extending your health and tension meter, getting more roulette slots, moves and orbs, and getting new techniques and combo extenders.
There's a lot of customization when it comes to the combat. You have over 100 techniques that you can choose from, so the way that you play the game is going to be different than how someone else is going to play.
As you play through the game, you're going to notice your level meter go up or down depending on how well or bad you do. The better you do, the higher your level. The worse you do, the lower your level. There's 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, and die. The higher your level, the bigger bonuses you'll get at the end of the stage. But there's a catch. The higher your level, the more difficult the game becomes. At levels 1 and 2, enemies will only attack if they're in Gene's line of sight. At level 3 and die, they'll attack regardless. And as you go up in level, the enemies will become stronger, adding to the difficulty. I never got above level 2, although I have seen a friend of mine and his brother pretty much play through the entire game on level die while playing it on hard mode.
I was borrowing it from another friend at the time, and when I saw what I saw, I just gave it back. I saw no reason to play it anymore. Until now.
The fact that I'm playing it now with little to no issue somewhat baffles me. The first time I played this, I had an extremely hard time, and I had it on easy at that time. Now I have it on normal, and I'm pretty much breezing through it. I question if I've just gotten better, or if they toned down the difficulty for the PSN release. But anyway, your main objective is to travel through this post-apocalyptic world, fighting bad guys and demons. Pretty much the story is that before the events of the game, a fallen angel tries to create hell on earth, and a man who had the power of God in his arms stops him. Somehow they preserve his arms after he dies, and a group of people keep them protected.
And given the insane nature of this game, just think of the craziest way you would preserve someone's arm, and that's how they did it.
Fast forward to the present day. The demons have gotten the left God Hand and are looking for the right, as Olivia, one of the protectors of the God Hands, fled with it after the demon invasion. So the demons start going around chopping off people's right arms. In comes Gene. His right arm gets chopped off, and Olivia comes to his rescue and gives him the right God Hand. Gene and Olivia travel across the land defeating an array of strange characters, like Mr. Gold and Mr. Silver. Identical twin brothers. Well, just look at them. Yeah, if you needed any indication that this game was weird, this fight should put any doubt out of your mind. And this is the first boss fight, and it gets a lot more bizarre after this.
There are purple poisonous chihuahuas, a succubus that summons a bus to escape, and midget Power Rangers. Yeah, this game is weird.
Now, unless you've seen a lot of Japanese comedy anime, you're probably not going to get any of the humor. Think of series like Excel Saga when it comes down to the humor you could expect from God Hand. A lot of the characters are pretty cliche. Gene is a smart aleck, and Olivia plays off of him as the comic foil, where her actions are what gets Gene to actually do anything, as he really doesn't seem to care about what's going on. The bad guys are as over the top as they can get, and it's funny to see how they interact with each other and the player character. I would compare it to Conker's Bad Fur Day, but it's not toilet or adult-orientated humor, it's more immature and childish.
My point is, don't take this game seriously, otherwise you're not going to enjoy this very strange, yet somehow whimsical ride.
In the end, God Hand has aged very well. It's fun, goofy, and allows you to customize the combat to your liking. But the game is very difficult, and if your twitch reflexes aren't up to par, you will lose a lot, as certain context-sensitive actions, like countering or getting out of a grapple hold, will only flash on the screen for a second. But there is a lot of action, and you won't be wandering around aimlessly looking for something to do, and while all you do is go around punching a lot of dudes, it doesn't feel repetitive, as the game keeps up a fast pace while offering a very good challenge. While it's not that well known, it's been put into the category of great games you've never played. And it's a must play, but you either need a PS2 and a physical disc, or a PS3 and download it off the PlayStation Network. I suck at God Hand, but I love it.
We need to see more games like God Hand. It's refreshing to see something out of the ordinary that's here just to have some stupid fun and not hold your hand.